always take care of yourself when you're out here. I know Steve used protect the park, protect the history, and then protect yourself. Whatever mantra you want to use, just know that similarities are the park always comes first. So be very mindful of that.
My name is Sarah Ontiveros, and I'm one of the founding members of the Climbers of Hueco Tanks Coalition. The coalition was formed back in 2006-07, I think it's 2007, after we had some heavy storms that really damaged some of the surfaces underneath some of our rock climbs. And as a result, the park closed some of our favorite rock climbs in the whole park. And so we formed the Climbers of Hueco Tanks Coalition to ensure that there was a group that can work hand in hand with the park to help preserve rock climbing at Hueco Tanks.
It's just such a magical place. Besides the excellent rock climbing, I just loved being here. So I kept coming back. But with the Climbers of Hueco Tanks Coalition being so present here, we do communicate between the park and the climbers a lot, but most of that communication is about preservation. It's not so much about the rock climbing. It's just that's the user group that uses the park most heavily. So we need to make sure that they're educated about how to keep the park protected and follow the rules properly so we can stay a user group and be allowed to keep coming into the park because we respect it and we take care of it and we're not furthering any damage. We're actually making it better every year by doing trail projects and the regrowth projects.
Hueco Tanks is loved not just on a local level, but on an international level. And I think people in El Paso don't realize the volume of people outside of El Paso, outside of Texas, even outside of the United States that travel here just to use this resource because it is so unique to climbing. And that's such a gift here, and we have it in our backyard. On a local level, us being able to come out here and give back and show the park that the locals love it too, just as much as all the international and the national climbers who come here. But we love it and we want to keep it preserved for the generations of El Pasoans to keep coming here year after year and have it look just as awesome.
Since climbing started here in the 90s and didn't really get popular until a little bit after that, the people who were coming here at the beginning were teenagers and younger people. And now a lot of those younger people that came here back then are older with families. And so even if you're not climbing as much anymore, to bring your kids here and share this space with them and watch them climb around the rocks and teach them about the plants and the animals is just as fun, even more fun than it was when we were all younger climbing. So there are still plenty of young climbers coming through, but there are a lot of people that had been climbing here a long time ago coming back with their families now and sharing it with their children. That's how much they love this place. There's really no other place I've ever rock climbed that I would feel as inclined to share with my family as this place.
Climbing is, just a great activity that keeps your mind and your body just all tuned, and it's, essential to a lot of people to keep them happy. And, trying to keep that going for generations.
Every day here is enjoyable. You're always at peace and relaxed, whether you're climbing well or not climbing well. You're still in a beautiful place, and as long as you can appreciate that, you're always going to have a wonderful day in the park.
Any day that you go to West Mountain is never a bad day. It's just always so quiet. It's probably one of the most least traveled mountains. Usually if you go to West Mountain, it's going to be a quiet day and you can get up high and you have some amazing views. So, but there's not a place in the park where you're like, oh, this place is horrible. It's just like the whole thing is super special.
Being in a place that is so historically important, you know, for tens of thousands of years, people lived in the park and made this their home. And so now being able to walk where they walked and see where they lived, that's my favorite part about the park for sure. It's just being kind of a small piece in the long history that the park has had with human interaction.